What's going on, YouTube? Heavy Metal Hotep back with another Emotive Mondays for you guys. Hope everybody had a great day and is having a great night. So, real quick, guys, before we get into the video, make sure you guys are subscribed, hit that notification bell, like and share, and also comment, share your thoughts with whatever video you're watching. Let's have a discussion, anything that you agree on, can relate on, anything that you want to talk about. Make sure you guys post it in the comments below. All right, without further ado, we're going to get started. So, tonight's episode is about basically learning to be alone and how that's going to be able to help you achieve your goals and get closer to that, right? So, essentially, the more that you're okay with being able to be by yourself, or even, I guess you could say, like a lone wolf, you'll be able to focus more. And, sometimes you actually do have to do that. And to be honest, that kind of goes right into our previous episode where we talked about sacrifice and how sometimes you might need to sacrifice your time, or whether that be with friends or family, when it comes to things that you're trying to accomplish. Especially basically we were talking about how it can be, the bigger the goal, the bigger the achievement that you're trying to, the more you will probably have to sacrifice in order to get there and achieve that. So this is going to go more into the details of basically trying to be okay with sometimes spending less time with friends or family, or sometimes turning plans down. Your friends invite you out, in different situations like that. So the first thing I want to talk about is sacrificing your time with people, right? Like, if there's something that you know that you need to do, or something that you need to grind out real quick, or study, or a project that you need to finish, essentially, you're going to find sometimes that during those times where you need to get these things done, you're going to have people that are going to hit you up, want to make plans, want to go out and do stuff, or want to come over and, do some stuff at your place, right? And sometimes it's important, I would say a lot of times, really, it's important to understand that sometimes you are going to have to say no. Sometimes you are going to have to not be so into, what's going on, what's the move for the weekend or Friday or Saturday or whatever. Sometimes you are going to have to basically just, lock it down and just, get to grinding, basically, it could be studying. It could be, like I was saying earlier, it could be finishing a project, something that you might have been working on for the past couple weeks now, and you're trying to get it finished and done so you don't have to worry about it, by the goal you're trying to get it done. You don't have to rush or anything like that. You can just keep a smooth, steady pace and just, work along as you go. But, a lot of times during that process of what we're doing, we're going to have, our friends and our family want to do stuff. And, it's unfortunate, but sometimes you're going to have to, miss out on some things if you're trying to really get to whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. And I'm not saying that it has to be every single time, it has to be all the time. Sometimes you can definitely make time for friends, family, and loved ones. But let's be honest, it's easier said than done. It's not always like that. So, if you're really, working hard and you're working, or sometimes just even working often, right? You're not always going to have time to have as much fun as you probably would like. You're not going to be able to do certain things as if you had, more free time. If you're working a lot and there's a bunch of, or if it's just a bunch of different things that you're trying to move through and keep pushing forward and move along to complete, You're not going to always have time to go out. You're not always going to have time to see your friends. And honestly, I would say time is a very important aspect of this, because essentially you have to learn, I guess you really could say you have to learn good time management skills, because what you essentially want to do is make sure that you're using your time wisely. And that, let's say, if you can find the time to do these certain things. Now, I'm not certainly say don't do them, but what I am saying is that certain times it's not always going to be that easy, and certain times it's just not always going to be possible, right? So a lot of times when you're left to your own time and thoughts, you end up getting being pretty busy, right? People tend to get busy when they're left to their own time and thoughts, and they start to essentially start thinking of the things that they would like to do, and sometimes maybe the things that they need to do, and they'll use that time to get those things done, or at the very least get further along than they were before, right? So another great aspect of learning to be alone is it will definitely help you be able to focus. It'll help you to be able to really hone in on the different things that you should be doing, or that you want to get done. You won't have a bunch of distractions, and that's not to say that your friends and family are like distractions per se, but it certainly can be that way if it's taking you away from something that you should be doing, right? If your cousin hits you up to go to this party or something like that, boom, there's a distraction. Instead of, let's say, studying, instead of writing something that you want to finish, you're at the party, right? Now, I mean, one could say, well, if you have something that you need to write or need to finish, if you could do both, try and do both. And I mean, you could try that, but to be honest with you, again, going back to distractions, now you're bringing your work to the distraction. And I mean, if you can work efficiently like that, that's great. More power to you. But the majority of people aren't going to be able to work their best in an environment that doesn't allow them to. And I think that's a no-brainer. So you want to make sure that when you think about these things, and when you turn down different events and things that you're invited to, you got to remember that, it may suck that you have to turn it down, you have to miss out on something, but listen, I mean, if you really think that what you're trying to accomplish is worth it, missing out on certain things in the now will totally be worth it, and I would also say depending on what that is, but in general, more than likely you could say it'd be worth it. So learning to be alone and basically being essentially what is a lone wolf, it's obviously going to help you focus, and I would say you would create the atmosphere for yourself to be able to focus, because you don't have all the different distractions and things that can pull you, especially things that are enticing, things that are a lot you might think is or feel is a lot more fun than what you're doing currently. It'll take you out of that, and boom, now you're not being productive. And I mean, if you want to accomplish your goals and there's things that you want to achieve in life, productivity is 100% important. So I think that if you're too focused on constantly having people around you and constantly doing things that involve people, sometimes you probably can, it can slip your mind. You probably might forget that you have to, there's certain things that you're obligated to do, either whether it be an obligation to yourself, to your school, could be a band, it could be maybe something that you and a group of people are trying to get done or trying to create. Could be something that involves art. It could be anything. I mean, if you have excuse me, if you have prior obligations and you know that you do, but you choose to, you know, go to an event that you're invited to, or you choose to basically whatever it is that you're invited to do, you end up basically choosing to do that thing instead of whatever prior obligations that you know you have and should be tending to. What will end up happening is, chances are you're going to forget about that thing, right? You're going to be having fun. You're going to be doing something that you really, truly enjoy, right? And it might slip your mind that you have to, maybe you plan to do that after or something, right? Or the next day. I mean, depending on how much fun you have, you know what I'm saying? If you go out with the homies and, you know, y'all go to the bar or something, you go out drinking, you know, maybe the next day you don't feel so hot, right? So now you're more focused on getting out of that feeling from, you know, last night. And now you're probably not remembering, oh shit, I still have to get this done or that, and I put it off. So I was supposed to do X, Y, and Z, you know, X, Y, and Z today because I was going to do A, B, and C yesterday. Now you got to do A, B, and C and X, Y, and Z, right? With you not feeling so good. And that's considering that you even remember. I mean, you might be so focused or might be so, you know, out of it that it slips your mind. And that can really mess you up when it comes to productivity and efficiency. Basically just hammering it out and getting things done as needed. So, by the way, guys, anybody that's just tuning in, please like the video, share, and turn on notifications if you haven't already. You know, new subscribers every day, which is pretty cool. You know, it's, you know, we're getting there. Slow crawl, but a crawl nonetheless. Slowly but surely, we're getting up there. You know, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. And eventually we are going to get there. So yeah, make sure that you guys subscribe, like, and share. And yeah, if you guys want to leave a comment, go right ahead and share your thoughts. So before we get out of here, I just want to say, all in all, being alone every now and then, right? Because I'm not saying that you gotta be in like total isolation. I mean, unless that's what you want to do, but even that's not really good for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Everybody needs some type of interaction with human beings. Yeah, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Studies have obviously and absolutely have shown that. But I will say that it's something that needs to be worked on, right? It's something that needs to be looked at, and then basically pinpoint and practice on basically finding time to do certain things. And if you can't find the time to do certain things that you want to do, while maintaining, you know, a good work ethic. And by the way, that's another video that we did. Definitely check that out if you're looking to understand on how to build a good work ethic. It's a lot of good stuff in there, guys. So, but yeah, if you want to you're trying to maintain a good work ethic, and you're also trying to find time to do the things that you also enjoy. The reality is that you will be able to find the time to do these things. You just have to figure out how. And that is something where you have to basically take a step back and look at what time you have throughout the week. When do you want to do these things? Spread out what it is that you need to do, if that makes sense. Like if you have something to do in 3 days, then you're going to end up spreading it out over, let's say, a period of different times throughout those days, all within trying to make sure that you're not finishing everything at the last second. So you might not have time, might not be able to find the time to do certain things. But if you can and it works, and you got to be honest with yourself, you can't just say, oh yeah, that'll work, just because you want to go out and do something. You got to be honest with yourself. If the truth is it's not going to work, it's not going to work. But if you know that it actually will, absolutely. Because at the end of the day, I mean, if you end up planning badly, I mean, you're going to have to hold that L, right? That's something that you're going to have to deal with. And why set yourself up for failure? You know what I'm saying? Why plan to fail, even though you're planning poorly, and either you're still planning to fail. I mean, there's a saying that says if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And I do believe in that, but I also believe that you have to plan properly, right? Because if you plan poorly, you still plan to fail, because it's only going to mess you up at the end of the day. So yeah, being alone every now and then it's good. Also, even if it doesn't have anything to do with you accomplishing something, there are going to be times where you're not going to be able to always hang out with people. People do get busy, and people have their own lives. People have their own things they're doing and their own things that they're focusing on. So if you have no plans for the weekend, right? Like, normally you're used to going out and stuff like that, but then everybody seems to be busy. I mean, it's good to have you time too. It's good to do the same things that they're probably doing, which more than likely would be them getting their stuff done, right? So all in all, understand that being alone is something that is helpful. It's something that you will be able to use to your advantage as far as focusing and achieving your goals. And it's a good attribute to have in life, of not having to constantly be around people, considering that you're not in a bad place, right? That's a whole different story. But in the sense of, emotionally, mentally, you're good and all that, it's good to be able to rock with yourself sometimes, spend time with your own thoughts, spend time developing your own thoughts. You can do that with other people, obviously in conversations that you have with them, but then you can also spend time really thinking about what are the things what are your values, what are your opinions, and why you think those things. And, when you're alone, you can also just break those things down, as long as you keep it real with yourself. Being alone and focusing on yourself is definitely something that's doable and is important. So that's going to be it for tonight's episode, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Definitely want to say thanks to everybody that tuned in. And if you're tuning in after the stream's done, again, make sure that you're subscribed, share the video, like it, comment if you want. Yeah, I think that's all I got for you guys. Definitely, let's see here. Sure, yeah, here. Yeah, make sure you guys follow me on Instagram. It's above right here. Cash App's right here if you guys want to donate. It's going to go back into the show, but that's up to you. Feel free to donate or not. And with that being said, I hope everybody has a peaceful, prosperous, and productive day tomorrow. And you guys have a great night. I will see you guys later. Peace.